We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, would interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Alright. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Hopefully I can get this out today. Hopefully I know what I'm doing. I'm editing this for the most part. It looks like it's going to be by myself. It is November 29th, 2025. Here recently, I have been compiling and putting together shorter content videos that I used to make before I got into the podcasting game. Back when I was just a regular short content creator. But the videos that I'm compiling together are usually all on one specific subject, so they are related, and I've been putting it mostly out for Spotify, so I was like, because none of this is out on Spotify, but I have been premiering it and putting it out on YouTube, in case somebody wants to tune into it, because it's a lot of older stuff. So if some of the content doesn't seem relevant, that's why. You can definitely tell this is some of my earlier work because I'm less polished. But yeah, this specific episode is a compilation of different Bible readings I did. I do it every now and then. I'll pull out the Bible and read it and give commentary and what I think about it. Just a heads up, I am not a Christian. I'm a witch. I'm an occultist. So this, if you're coming in here, thinking I'm going to Bible thump, you're probably not going to get what you want. But I still hope you enjoy. I hope this opens your mind to a different perspective on the Bible. Yeah. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you enjoy. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you would like to donate to the channel, it helps. And catch you guys later. Back again here, guys. Just chilling with the dog. Well, this is my third video on some Bible reading stuff. I believe I've read the Bible more than the average Christian today. Trying to find my lighter. Sorry about that. Once again, we're going to jump back down the conspiracy rabbit hole of the King James Bible. It's getting a little darker out now. If this kind of stuff interests you, check out my last two videos. Both of them were filmed today. And honestly, that's all I've been doing all day is jumping down a rabbit hole. And look at my notes and stuff, man. Doing some research. Which, hey, I mean, if I'm going to be stuck not working for 14 days until the 30th, because the movie theater I'm working at is shut down, then might as well jump down some rabbit holes and put out some more videos for you all. Now this gets into actually a conspiracy related with William Shakespeare, which William Shakespeare is a conspiracy all on its own. It's a rabbit hole, definitely. I mean, you got the whole conspiracy that William Shakespeare, was simply a pseudonym, a pen name for Sir Francis Bacon, and or William Swift, or not William Swift, I'm sorry, William Sly. Good thing I got notes. I'd have somebody calling me out, do your research, man. But yeah, supposedly there's this guy, William Sly, that was like, I don't know, I'm not going to jump down this rabbit hole because that's actually not what this video's about, but it has a little bit to do with it. That in all these documentations and stuff of like a Shakespeare, I don't know, somebody could describe it better, but somewhere along the lines, I might do a video on it later, because that's a rabbit hole that I'm not ready to jump down. I'm focusing just on this right here. But a lot of people believe it's either Sir Francis Bacon or William Sly, that Shakespeare's just a pen name. Some people I've even heard say that like the actual Shakespeare was like illiterate and just like dumb, like some farmer or something. I've heard all sorts, and I maybe one day I'll make a video of Shakespeare in general, way down the road. Oh, by the way, this is a Red Rubber band. I don't know. That's like one of those conspiracies that a lot of people have been saying, that like all these stars and different people are wearing like little red ribbons tied around their right wrist, and that they like practice the Kabbalah. I don't know. I also do this a lot because it means okie dokie. So one day I'm gonna come across, like, if my channel ever took off or something, I'm gonna come across a compilation of Abe Williams Illuminati confirmed. One of those videos, which I hope, that would be awesome. This video is literally, this conspiracy got brought up to me years ago, back when there was a Jim Mars that used to be alive and kicking. Jim Mars was awesome. Rest in peace, Jim. He was definitely one of my heroes. Jim Mars was into literally every conspiracy that you could think of, from the JFK shooting to Roswell to Area 51 to Ghost to Bigfoot to Thunderbird. I mean, pretty much back in the 90s, like, the 90s was a big heyday time for conspiracies and UFOs and ghost hunting shows and stuff. Well, a lot like today. I feel like the 90s, though, it was out like crazy on cable television. But you would always see, and he was almost in like every other documentary out there, you'd always see Jim Mars with his fedora on and his big beard, and I don't know, I always liked him as a person and stuff. He seemed really cool. I always wanted to meet him. He kind of became one of my heroes, because you get a lot of conspiracy theorists in the field who are either real hateful or kind of grumpy, kind of like William Cooper. He's one of my favorite, but he seemed like he was real negative, like Alex Jones always kind of like so it was kind of cool to see this big teddy bear, with a big beard, a big hillbilly, just kind of laughing, always in a good mood, But he brought this to my attention, so I kind of feel, since I've made 3 different Bible conspiracy videos today, that I kind of felt like, since he's dead now, that it should keep getting passed on. Because, I mean, what videos are out there of him, especially with YouTube, how they're basically taking away videos, even this video where I've used the word conspiracy theory. I'm sure it'll get not taken down, but pushed down on the algorithm list and stuff like that, and I struggle with it. I hear these other YouTubers complaining about algorithms and stuff, and they're making like normal videos. Like, imagine me, dude. I'm putting out just about all my videos are conspiracy or UFO or paranormal videos, man. So imagine how I feel. I mean, we're getting pushed down to the very bottom. But I felt like I'll never be able to fill Jim Mars's shoes. But I feel like since he's dead now, that we as a community, as a conspiracy community, should keep his work going. So all the credit I give to him, you know. But basically, the conspiracy that he believed and preached was that Shakespeare wrote the Bible. And by Shakespeare wrote the Bible, I don't mean he literally wrote everything in this book. I mean that he translated it and converted the King James Bible into Old English. So he was the writer of it, you know. And who better than to choose than the person who wrote Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet, you know? Who, honestly, reading it, you could, if he wrote the Bible, you could tell definitely from its poetic style that it's Shakespeare. But the conspiracy goes that at 46 years old, Shakespeare wrote this fragment of the Bible. And he left a little code for you to decode. At 46 years old, Shakespeare wrote and translated Psalms 46. And if you go 46 words down, you'll get... And I marked it. Hopefully you can see it. It's kind of hard to see. I'll bring it as far as I can. But take a Bible yourself and do this. But 46 words down, you'll get shake. And then 46 words up from chapter 46 of Psalm, you will have spear. Put that together, it's Shakespeare. And he wrote that at 46 years old. Psalms 46, 46 words down, shake, 46 words up, spear. I don't know, to me that's just one of those mind-blowing things. Believe it or not, it's up to you. I just figured since I'm on a roll with conspiracy Bible videos today, I'd figure I'd throw that in there. I don't know. It's deep stuff, man. I like it. Let me know if you like it. If not, comment. I don't care. Comment. Let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, I've been putting out videos all day, working all day on this channel. So check out my other two videos. Give those some views if you like this video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. What's going on, peeps? Just finished eating some lunch. A nice healthy McDonald's burger. Like I said, due to the coronavirus, I should be in work, but there's a 14-day shutdown on all movie theaters and or restaurants. So, figured I was doing some more research. This one, actually, I just kind of went down a small little rabbit hole. Doing some research. Once again, reading some more of this. And it kind of took me into a little bit of the Anunnaki and Egyptology. Honestly, a little bit of everything. But I don't know, I found something interesting. Someone else found it, but it kind of got brought to my attention. And someone else made a video on it, but I'm actually going to go one step deeper. So before I hear anyone going, oh, you know, he's just copying someone else's video. No, I'm actually just adding to it, because I think it goes deeper than a 5-second clip of somebody noticing something odd. So basically, to get a perspective on this, you'd have to kind of study in general Lilith. Lilith is a Jewish legend And of course it's labeled a legend because it was taken out of this book, or at least they thought they took all of it out, and they didn't, because there's actually a fragment which I found and I'm going to read to you. But essentially Lilith is the first wife of Adam, before Eve, and pretty much it comes down to sum it up quickly, God created Adam and Lilith. Eve, or let's scratch Eve for right now. Adam and Lilith were in the garden, getting it on. And Lilith said, I want to be on top. And honestly, when I read the Bible, there's several things that Adam kind of irritates me with. I never really liked Adam as a character. Thought he was kind of crummy. Not a very good man. But Lilith says to him, I want to be on top during sex. And Adam says, no, I'm the man. I'm supposed to be on top. Which Lilith technically would be the first feminist. Definitely the symbol of feminism. But, yeah, so she got mad. God complained, or not God, Adam complained to God about her. So she was banished, from the garden. Technically the first one to be banished from the Garden of Eden. And she became pretty much a, she-demon, called the succubus, who pretty much visits men while they're sleeping, and the scientific explanation would be night terrors, but the supernatural explanation would be that it's Lilith, the succubus. Pretty much she lays on the men while they're sleeping, steals the seed, travels with the seed to impregnate neighbors, someone in the near vicinity, which I think honestly was something that somebody made up back in the day when they were screwing around on their wife and cheating. Oh, the neighbor got pregnant, let's blame it on a succubus. But the succubus too, it changes gender, so it would steal the seed, go to a female and do the same thing, but become a incubus, which would be the male version. But I don't know. That's Lilith in general, backstory of her. So this is Genesis. I'm going to start with Genesis 1:1 actually. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Well, right there, that's false. And you can get mad if you want. But the actual Jewish text says in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Which Elohim, if you get into Hebrew, the language, Elohim is literally translated to gods. In the beginning, gods created the heaven and the earth. So a lot of people don't know that a lot of ancient Judaism and stuff branches from polytheism, multiple gods. And I personally translate that to the Anunnaki, which was pretty much a group of gods, the creators of man, which would be even further back than Judaism, which would be the Sumerian belief system, which is the first religions, pretty much. Which, get offended if you want, I don't care. It's fact that a lot of the Bible is pretty much plagiarism. They're taking stories from older religions and stuff. But this right here, Genesis 1:26 through 28, if you want to look it up in your own Bible, which I would suggest you do just to fact check me. I think you should question everything and everyone, even me. Don't even believe me.
And God said, let us make man in our image. And this is actually in the King James Version. It got left in our image. I've heard a lot of Christians say that, oh, he's talking about the angels too. Well, technically the angels could be, the Agigi or the Anunnaki, if you look at it from that perspective, because it's essentially just taking the same stories and changing it up a little bit. Let's see, so let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image, and the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. That's a tongue twister. God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and every creeping thing that moveth upon the earth. So that's chapter 1. And I wanted to take a little side note here. And that story is actually plagiarism. It's copying an older story. I got some notes here of gets into Egyptology and ancient Egyptian religion. The creator god, Khnum, which would be spelled Khnum, from ancient Egypt. He created man and woman basically using a potter's wheel and clay. So the story of creating man and woman from dirt, from clay, which is where you get the phrase like ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so we return to. But yeah, he was basically a ram-headed god, and I know a lot of Christians are going to say, well, see, he looks like Satan, he's Baphomet. Well, let me nip that in the bud and pretty much say Baphomet was a 19th century, created in 1856 by a Eliphas Levi. So, no, sorry, he's not Baphomet. If anything, Baphomet was inspired by him, which if you spread out the word and use like etymology, Bapho, and then Maat, which goes back to ancient Egyptian religion. Maat, which is like Ma'at, pretty much kind of like I may be wrong on this, so correct me if I am, but I think it's like goodwill, like he has Ma'at in him, pretty much like goodness. But yeah, so this is where it gets odd though. So right there, creates man and woman from dirt. And I remember kind of reading this as a kid and getting confused, because I was like, wait, God created man and woman from dirt, but then later on, in chapter 2, verse 21 and 22, and the Lord God caused deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had created from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. So you got in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through 28, he created man and woman using dirt. And then all of a sudden it changes it up, if you're believing that it's Eve. Chapter 21 and 22, that is created from Adam, his rib. So that right there, a lot of Christians say there's no contradictions in the Bible. Can't even get through the first 2 chapters of the entire book without finding literally a contradiction. If you believe that it's Lilith, or Eve, and that there is no Lilith. I personally, my perspective is that it was the Vatican and or early Jews or something covering up the whole Lilith story. Like, oh man, we can't have this in there. So they took it out, much like most of the Bible. But I don't know. I believe, honestly, you see a lot of fragments of ancient Egyptian religion, I think personally, from when the Jews were there before the whole 40-year march into the desert. I think it's from them being there and learning it there, learning the Egyptian religion and culture, and then when they left Egypt, taking it out from Egypt and kind of like, well, we're going to write all this down, but make it our own version. But then again, most historians nowadays are saying the whole Moses story with the Jews being in the desert for 40 years and the Jews building the pyramids, a lot of historians are saying that's false. I don't know, you hear a lot of historians say it's false, and then you hear a lot of historians saying it's truth, so that I'm not even going to touch on, but kind of shows you too that ancient astronaut theory, religion, occult, old myths, the paranormal, the supernatural, everything ties together. And I've said this before in other videos, it all ties together. And the more you go down these little rabbit holes, you're going to realize that all those little holes and tunnels connect into one big room, everything's tied together. But let me know what you think. I'm sure I pissed someone off. Y'all have a good day. What's going on, everyone? Just enjoying a gloomy, rainy day here in Kentucky. I actually like this weather. A lot of people don't. Some people want it like bright and hot and sunny 24/7. I love this stuff. I'm just drinking some coffee, waking up. I had another video idea consisting of Bible reading that I found was interesting, and wanted to make a video on it. And now with this coronavirus, I have plenty of time to make videos. So I don't know, this video is about 666, the mark of the beast. Now, a lot of people, mostly Christians, honestly have like a big fear of that number. I remember back in the day when I was younger, like probably about 17, 18 years old, and pretty much like, I don't remember what item on the menu it was, but I worked at McDonald's, and some combo, like a drink, fry, and a burger, I can't remember which one it was, but it always came out to 666. And I mean, it was like a broken record. I would hear it probably at least like 3 to 4 times a day, because I'd work back drive-through. I'd ring it. I was on headset and would ring in the order, and I'd hear, oh my God, you gotta add something to it or take something off. And to me, I would look at them like they're retarded, because it's stupid. It's just a number. It's a number, for one, it's coincidence. Two, it's a number, dude, like the number 13, or it cracks me up, casinos use 777, and actually that's a bad luck number if you actually get into numerology, which cracks me up. I guess that would be like occult sabotage, But yeah, I wanted to read a fragment from Revelation, and kind of mention something on it. Another thing about the fear of that number that cracks me up is like, okay, from your point of view, like if you're a Christian, why are you afraid? Like, don't you have technically like the almighty, the powerful, omnipresent creator protecting you and defending you, you know, against evil forces and all that. Like, why are you afraid? Aren't you supposed to have, like, zero fear, you know? I mean, I don't know, to me that's funny. It just shows your lack of faith if you're scared of a number. Bringing out my Celtic Cross Bible, man. And I'm not really a Christian, but I do think there's a lot of ancient knowledge and ancient history, and I think there's a lot of stuff in this book that should be paid attention to. A lot of people, like atheists and stuff like that, they automatically are like, oh, it's trash, it's full of nothing but trash. Not always, man. There's a lot in this book that, especially as, like myself, as a conspiracy theorist and an ancient astronaut theorist, there's so much in there that I could make videos all day on it. And I probably will, eventually. But this is from Revelation 13, verse 16 through 18. And I only use King James Version, man. It's to me, it's the most unaltered English version you're gonna find. And even it's obviously not the correct translation, you know. I mean, you got Hebrew and Greek, you know. But, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. Pay attention to this verse right here. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. For it is a number of a man is the most important part of that. My personal belief on that verse, I'm going to do two different perspectives that I personally believe on that. Now, where it says it's the number of the beast, but it's also the number of a man, I think it's talking about the carbon atom that's within all of us, that comes out to 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. It's literally our makeup, carbon atom. I think that's honestly ancient knowledge telling us, hey, this is the number of man, this is our number, we're made up of 666. You know, the carbon atom, 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, you know. So, whether you like it or not, from a scientific point of view, you're born with that mark in you. Hence why it's the number of man, which freaks a lot of people out. But I don't know, I do believe honestly too, though, that it could have been either a premonition, if you believe in that sort of thing, that John was having, because the book's written by John, a premonition of RFID chip, as far as like when it gets into the mark being in your right hand or forehead, which I think is freaky, you know, when you see all these clips on the news and stuff of employees getting RFID chips in their right hand to like clock into work or even to buy things. I believe we're heading in that direction. I give it probably like within the next 30 years, I would think most everyone will be chipped voluntarily. And me personally, I won't volunteer for any of that. And if it ever came down to being forced to do it, I'd just go run and hide out in the woods like a wild man, I guess. But I don't know, I could see me being like an older man and all the youth making fun of me because I'm not chipped, but I don't want to become a cyborg, man, as far as chipped or the whole inception of transhumanism and all that jazz. But I don't know, that's just me whether you like it or not, the number's in you. It's the number of man, my perspective. You can either be ashamed of it or scared of it or freaked out about it. You could be fearful and think that that means you were born into the tribulation, you know. But I don't know. Or you could be proud of it, you know. Just be like, hey, this is my number. People look at it as a bad thing. Just be proud of it, man. It's what you're made of. It's the carbon atom. But y'all have a good day. Let me know what you think.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. Secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.